pessimistic is probably a good word for it, but not on purpose. It's just because I know what's all on the table, what all the teams are on the table, who they're talking to.
What all teams are on the table? Throw them at me.
You get the 4 corner schools. So
Okay.
Arizona, we'll just do this. Arizona, we'll toss in Arizona State. Colorado is on there.
And Utah are the
And
4 corners.
Yes. And then what they end up doing with that, I don't know. They obviously want Colorado to come back. They're not too far removed from the Big 12. I don't know how much, 10 years? What is it?
I think it was 2011 they left.
Yeah. Okay, a little over 10 years. They can come back. That's the easy transition. You bring them back. You get Prime, whatever that means. He's probably not going to be there long, but you still get him back. At Arizona, if you are Brett Yormark.
What does Colorado bring them?
It's a Denver market. Just
Is
another
it?
big market.
Are people in Denver watching a 1-11 football team?
It depends. I mean, it's not who's watching necessarily. I think they base it off the Nielsen, and it's the possibility of how many could be watching, right?
No, it shouldn't be.
Oh, I don't make the rules. I don't make the rules.
I get it.
Look at the markets, man. Look at Nielsen ratings. I wish I had that list pulled up in front of me. I sure don't.
Please pull up your Wikipedia. Anybody can post anything data article from Medium. TJ and I we were almost in a physical
We almost
altercation
fist fought
before
earlier.
this recording started.
But you also have the 4 corner schools. We talked about that. UConn, San Diego State,
No.
and then Memphis.
No.
What do you mean no?
San Diego State is not before us.
In what?
The list of teams that they're looking at.
I'm gonna.
If
beg to
Colorado
differ.
leaves the Pac-12, San Diego State fills in Colorado.
I don't know
That's the
that to be
scenario.
true.
That's the scenario.
No, I don't know that to be
That's
true.
the scenario.
Why?
What is UConn? And if you say the Hartford market, I'm going to flip out. What does UConn offer besides the Hartford market?
Brett Yormark has come out and said he wants both football and basketball.
Okay.
And
well,
I'm
their
going off his
football
words.
is doo-doo brown.
Let it be known. I'm going off his words. His words. These
Okay.
are not my thoughts and opinions. His words.
Okay.
He wants a coast-to-coast conference. He's
Okay.
talked about splitting football, getting a grant of rights for football and a grant of rights for basketball separately,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
So bring over both for UConn. That basketball instantly makes your conference so much better. It's already arguably the best conference, maybe number 2, depending on who you ask, behind the SEC in terms of overall strength. But you add UConn to that, you're probably the best. You've got Kansas and UConn.
Okay.
And then you're talking about potentially also adding San Diego State. It's a pretty good team. I don't know if you watched March Madness. They're pretty good. So
They made a run.
adding Memphis, that also helps. You get the penny effect. That also helps. So all these things are checking the right boxes. His whole mindset seems to be that he believes football, that the SEC and the Big Ten are basically going to try to split away from everything else. They're going to try to create their own super league of football. Hey, we got the biggest and the best in football.
The Power 2, people keep referring.
Yes, they're going to try the biggest and best in football. And although basketball is sub to that, basketball is definitely not as popular. It's not as lucrative as football. It's still important. And if you try to say that we are going to create a national championship for football, but our basketball teams are just going to stay behind, is that what you're saying? Like, did basketball go? You're going to have Big Ten and SEC basketball go over into their own Power 2 conference? Are they going to be this national championship of 20 teams? Or what is the number? What are they at? Both 16 each?
Yeah. 32.
Yeah, so 32 teams. That's going to be your national championship? No. You can't have a national championship without UConn playing, without potentially Arizona playing, without Kansas playing, without Baylor, Kansas State. Like, these are all great teams that have made serious runs lately. So, like, how can you say, oh, we're just going to shit on basketball and basketball doesn't matter? Basketball does matter. It just doesn't matter as much. And I think this dude is just so wild that he's thinking head and shoulders above everybody else. And he says, if I just grab dibs on all the best basketball teams, you can't effing forget about me. And that Big 12 is going to matter.
So I get that he's got a basketball itch he wants to scratch. But football's the driver.
I agree.
College basketball is a very small niche market. So how adding Memphis scratches that basketball itch? It does. TJ, it does.
Arizona or Memphis? more established program? Who does more for you right now?
We're not even.
I'm just asking the question. Stop. The fact that you're having, even as Memphis fans, you have to know that Arizona is the better program. UConn or Memphis?
Maybe
UConn or Memphis for basketball?
UConn, but you're not you add Memphis, it scratches your basketball itch without sacrificing the football side of things, which is the driver and the moneymaker. No?
Sure. The football is better at Memphis than it is UConn. I think they were on their deathbed.
And so is football at Memphis better than Arizona, but I don't know how Arizona got brought into this. We weren't even talking about Arizona.
I'm just naming the other schools that are in this conversation.
Okay.
But what did San Diego State do last year? They're not hurting too bad. They got the backing of
San Diego State is not going to the Big 12. They would be in the Pac-12 if anything.
I don't know that to be true. That's a big market.
How does
That's
Colorado check any of the boxes? Coast to coast basketball.
It's the Denver market. That's the whole thing. They are saying, "Hey, you've been here before. We want that."
You're
Denver
all
market
over the
back."
place.
They want the Denver market back. Everything is based off market. I think that's obvious, right? They just pulled in Houston. That's 1 billion TVs. They're going to pull in Denver. That's 1 billion TVs.
TJ doesn't think that Memphis adds anything.
It's not
to the Big
that.
12.
It's
You said it before we started. Houston market is what? Top 7 in the nation?
Yes.
But who gives a rat's arse if they have 5 million TV sets and 100,000 of them watch Houston sports?
I don't make the Nielsen ratings. I don't make these things up. That's what professionals look at for ratings.
I don't understand. If you look,
You're thinking
Memphis-
way too logically with this.
Memphis is consistently, as a market, rated in the top 10 of collegiate football and basketball ratings. Right? We're like 52nd overall as a national
Something like
market.
that, yeah.
But if you look at the people that are watching these sporting events, Memphis is up there. Last year, or I think it was over the last 5 years, ESPN had an article that came out in December. Their primetime slotted game, they listed out the top 10 cities that watch those football games. Memphis was 8th on the list. And Memphis, the Tigers didn't play in any of those. But my point is, if they are, the Big 12 is getting those eyeballs on those games. And if Memphis' schedule includes the likes of Texas Tech and Baylor and Oklahoma State, that's all eyeballs that the Big 12 gets and revenue that they're getting from adding us.
I agree.
A market that consistently ranks in the top 10 of the 2 major sports that they want. I don't care how many total TV sets there are. If people don't watch those sports now, they're not all of a sudden going to start watching them.
But you're basing that off of this one metric that someone is saying. In the past 5 years, this town has had a X number of people watching college football or basketball, right? It's not specifically your team. It's just any team in general, right? They could be watching Georgia. They could be watching Hawaii. They could be anyone.
Yeah, but they're watching football, not Dancing with the Stars.
Great show.
Like the other 4 million
Seems like a personal
TVs.
attack. I love that show.
I don't know that you... I thought you were a big Bachelor guy.
It is Bachelor, yeah. But no, Nielsen rankings is where it's at. It's where everything is based off of. Why? Head and shoulders above me. I don't know why people love that. I guess it's just the max number of TVs you can watch. And why I say other San Diego State and UConn have a better chance than Memphis. We're looking at number 27 on the list, San Diego market, 1.1 million. UConn gets the Hartford market. That's the closest, biggest town. That's 1 million. And then Memphis is way down the list at 620,000. You can't say that doesn't matter.
Does that not include West Memphis and North Mississippi?
They are probably included in the Memphis market.
Jackson.
Memphis is a weird
Jackson.
situation where we are,
Are you putting Jackson,
the
Tennessee
big
in there?
city. Can't tell you, man.
So you got to encompass all that's around.
I don't make this up. You go by the largest city near that college town. Memphis, UCF, Cincinnati, Houston, all of those are in big cities, so they catch their main city market. San Diego State in San Diego. UConn is in Stores, but guess what's 10, 15 miles away? Hartford, New Haven. That's the market they get. I don't make these things up. I don't get that power. They have larger enrollments. They have, looking at last year, UConn had more people watching their games. San Diego State had more people watching their games than Memphis. All of this stuff matters.
Which,
to them.
are you talking about football games?
Yes, this is football. All that stuff matters. It's all money. It's all money. The wins on the field only matter so much.
I agree with you.
And that's why everyone says UConn. Why the hell would you add UConn? Their football team sucks. It doesn't matter. They don't want UConn. They want Hartford. They want a team on the East Coast because they're already trying to grab someone on the West Coast. Now, the issue when all this goes down
And
is
we're on the Mississippi River coast.
not a coast. Not a coast.